I am Nurul Ihsan binti Ahmad Bahuri and I am the first presenter. I will present the introduction. International trade refers to the exchange of goods and services between the people of two countries of the world. People or entities trade because they believe that they benefit from the exchange. They may need or want the goods or services. Every nation is blessed with certain resources, assets and abilities such as petroleum products, timber, fertile soil, or valuable metals and minerals. Same goes to US. According to the article, US exported estimated to $16.9 billion of crude and refined product to China. According to Chris Matthews 2020, China is one of the top 3 international trade partners with the Greater Houston. The Greater Houston Partnership is an economic development organization serving the Greater Houston area.
This is the summary of macroeconomics issues that we have chose. From the article, I can summarize that the Greater Houston Partnership of Foreign Trade showed that the customs district stop import, crude and refined products decreased in weight by 1.1% in the first 9 months of 2020. The value decreased by 36.2% in the same period from $16.9 billion USD to $10.8 billion USD. First 9 months of 2020, 254.5 million metric tons of goods and commodities handled 3.4% increase compared to last year. The shipments were valued at $145.1 billion, down 16.9% from the same period of 2019. Compared to the first 9 months of 2019, 17.3% rise in exportation. However, the value of export fell 13%. Imports decreased by both 8.5% in weight and 23.5% in value. Overall, the decreases that happened on 2020, China became number 1 trading partner of the customs district, overtaking Mexico and Brazil.
Okay, we move to the next slide, which is a discussion of microeconomic concept in syllabus. From this slide, we can see foreign trade of the United States comprises the international import and export of the United States. The country is among top 3 global import and export. The regulation of trade is constitutionally vested in the United States Congress. The Constitution gives Congress express power over the imposition of tariff and the regulation of the international trade. The Congress shall have power to lay and collect the taxes, duties, imposts and excises, to pay the debt and provide for the common defense and to promote the general welfare of the United States. But all duties, imposts and excises shall be uniform throughout the United States. This is more to the history of international trade. After the Great Depression, the country or the United States emerged as among the most significant global trade policymaker, and it is now a partner to a number of international trade agreements, including the General Agreement on Tariff and Trade (GATT) and the World Trade Organization (WTO). But the end of the Second World War, United States policymakers began to experiment on a broader level. In the 1914, working with the British government, the United States developed two innovations to expand and govern trade among nations, which is the General Agreement on Tariff and Trade GATT, and the International Trade Organization ITO. GATT, the function of GATT is to provide a framework of rules and a forum to negotiate trade barrier reduction among nations. In 1963, the United States established of the Office of the U.S. State Representative by Executive Order 11075 because of growing importance of international trade. Before this, they called the Office of the Special Representative for Trade Negotiation.
As you can see in the slide, the graph of international trade in the United States show an increase in either import or export since first quarter 2010, with total export worth more than 400 billion US dollar while import more than 5 billion US dollar. Meanwhile, in the first quarter of 2012 show an export value of close to 600 billion US dollar and import of 700 billion dollar. This indicated that international trade in the United States is increasing every year. But did you know that trade in the United States has experienced a fall? The Great Recession of 2007 until 2009 was characterized in part by a major collapse in the international trade. The magnitude of the collapse in US trade was substantially larger than in previous recession. The graph displays the percent change in total US trade involved export and import, beginning from the peak before each of the two most recent recessions. The 2001 recession led to an 8% drop in US trade 2 quarters following the previous business cycle peak, and 5 quarters passed before the volume of trade returned to the precession level. On the other hand, the 2007 until 2009 recession led to a decrease in the trade more than 25% 4 quarters following the previous business cycling peak, and 11 quarters passed before the trade returned to the pre-recession level. When this problem occurs, not only trade in the US is affected, but trade in other countries is also affected. The Great Recession is a bad experience to the economy and trade.
So now, we are at a second slide, which are the conclusion of the article about the theory of microeconomics that we had choose, which is international trade. To conclude, the Gather-Hudson Partnership in US is an economic development organization secretly. They import and export which pertain resource, assets, and abilities, such as petroleum, product, timber, fuels, soil, and other. The trade is significant difference between 2019 and 2020, and China become number 1 trader with US. Next, foreign trade comprise the international import and export of the US. The establishment of the Office of the US Trade Representative in 1963, and from the history we can see that's how international trade in US come from. We can also see the trade deficit is growing between US and China. That's all from our group. Thanks for lending your ear. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.